folks. But I have with me today Danny Hodges, dear friend of mine and his family. And you heard me, we've known each other most all our life. But Danny, you've gotten on a project. And I went out to your house here, I'd say a couple of months ago now, and you called me one day and had this great idea about a digital antenna. And you got to describing it, and you got my curiosity up. And as you know, I went out to your house and got to looking at it, and I am amazed. First of all, the price that you can do it for, and we'll get into that a little bit later, and the channels that I'm talking to people. I was at Roach Manufacturing this past Thursday, and people in there saying they recognized and said, man, that Danny Hodges come put me up a digital antenna. I'm getting 16 channels. I'm getting 15 channels. I'm getting, gobs of channels. And the best part of it, they're getting TV 35. I'll have to admit, I'm a little partial there. So,
yeah.
But you have put a lot up, haven't you?
Yes, sir. I've put up over 50.
Mm-hmm. And what I like about, and talk a little bit about this, you actually, and one thing about Danny, he ain't gonna tell you, I can tell you this, he ain't gonna tell you nothing ain't the gospel. That's one thing I love about you, and just that's the country folk in us there.
That's right.
You're gonna be honest about it. And before you did this, you really went around the county. You'd go down to Scott or Soperton or in your church parking lot.
Oh man, yeah.
And I'm just hitting a few places.
Yeah.
And hooked it up to your laptop and really checked what it would do, didn't you?
Yeah, I was wanting to make sure it was going to be good enough to sell.
Mm-hmm. And this home here we're at, y'all are looking up at this antenna. You actually put this one, attached it to the chimney, and it's probably about 45 feet in the air, isn't it?
Yes.
Because the pole's about 20 feet, house about 20, so it's about 45 feet high. And this particular homeowner's getting 16 channels, clear as a bell.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all HD.
Yeah. And checking around, I get this comment more than anything. People are literally spending thousands of dollars on digital antennas. And this one, it's less than $200.
Yes.
I mean, that's just amazing right there. But tell me the story we talked about yesterday. You went to Scott. There was a gentleman down there, the tower company was wanting to put a tower in. Tell me that story.
Well, he told him he would put him a tower up and would guarantee him 3 channels. So he didn't put the tower up for him, but I put one of mine up, and he got 40 channels.
Wow.
And 40 channels is a lot of channels, but some folks do get, that particular man there was in Cochran. Different places is different, but about like at the worst is about 12 channels.
Free.
Free.
Yeah, and see, that was the word I liked when we first talked, being the tightwad I am. But these are free. You pay for that, pay for it right up front, and then you're watching free TV from now on.
That's right. And you was telling me, you was watching yours in the bad weather. Mm-hmm. And the satellite went out, and you was still watching it. You turned over to the antenna and was watching it. That's right. On the antenna. But and they pretty good like that.
Yeah. And they're up sturdy. You put them up good, because on mine, we had a bad storm this past weekend. I told my wife, I said, we're about to find out how good that antenna's put up, but it didn't budge. And we had, it was gusting 50, 60 miles an hour. So it's up there. And like you said, my satellite did go out and flipped it over, and I'm watching I was watching out of Macon, watching the Doppler radar to see what was going on. But it's amazing how good they pick up. And you got people getting Columbus, right? Columbus stations. Where else?
Well, everywhere. Augusta, Columbus, Macon, Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And then you always pretty much get these Macon channels and Dublin channels. Mm-hmm. In our area, right. I reckon. But then sometimes you can get a whole lot of channels certain times, like later at night.
Mm-hmm. What made you come up with this idea?
Well, I wanted to be able to watch y'all's channel. Mm-hmm. I've always been where I could watch Oconee Trading Post, and I've always kind of fixed it to where I could, had to have a booster and everything else. But anyway, I fixed one up so I could watch Oconee Trading Post.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. And we have so many people, and you said you'd put up 50 some odd, and I think I've talked to half of them people because they're tickled to death from Dudley to Eastman, McCray, uh, Soperton, and Terrytown, and Scott, and Wrightsville, and right on around. You have no trouble picking up those channels, do you?
That's right. And I sell them with a money back guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
I have had nobody to want their money back yet.
Where's the furthest one you put up?
Uh, I reckon the furthest one I put up may be in Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And they got about 20 channels.
Mm-hmm.
And I was amazed because I've always heard that Scott wasn't a real good place.
Okay, let me ask you, Danny, if somebody calls you and before you go to all the trouble and put it up, and you do a money back guarantee, and you just told me you ain't giving nobody's money back yet, so they are working, and I know for a fact they're working. I have one in my own house, but what if, say, my neighbor over here wants you to do it, but they want to know up front how many channels you can get them? Can you do that? Is there any way to do that?
Yeah, what I do, James, is I bring an antenna and a pole out, and I've got a way of standing it up by myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I can hook it to my laptop and do a channel scan and tell them up front, what channels they're going to be getting, and then they can buy it or not buy
Yeah,
it.
but they'll know up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because they may be the guy that gets 16, they may be the one that gets 25 or 30.
Yeah,
So,
and then I'll kind of know what they wanting by talking to them on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And if they say I want to make sure I want to at least get 10 channels,
Mm-hmm.
if I come to put it up, if I come to try it and it gets 10 channels, well, we do an installation right then.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me ask you. Now, the home we're at now, they were more concerned about getting TV 35 and, of course, the Macon channels. And there's some big trees, very large trees out front, but yet you still getting it clear as a bell into this home here. Now, how do you get through them trees there?
Well, what we done is we kind of pointed a little bit to the side of the trees. I got a signal meter on the laptop, and I can tell what it's doing. And so I couldn't go through the trees too good. I started losing signal going through them, so I turned to the side a little bit. But if you got high trees, if they a little further out,
Mm-hmm.
they don't affect you as bad. But if they right up there within 75 or 100 foot,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no way to get around them or between them,
Mm-hmm.
then that's a problem.
Okay.
As far as the antenna, doing good, I've tested this antenna. I've took it all over Lawrence County testing it,
Mm-hmm.
and it works good. And I actually believe if you was up on a tower,
Mm-hmm.
you could point it to any direction
Mm-hmm.
and get any of the channels, within 100, 150 miles around, solid.
And if you put a rotary box on it, you can turn it,
Yeah,
can't you, and get different, instead of just getting Macon or whatever, you can turn it where you want it.
that's right. That antenna is directional with that reflector on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to watch Dublin, you turn it toward Dublin or Macon.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you wanted to watch Augusta, you would have to turn it toward Augusta,
Mm-hmm.
which is what you have to do with a rotor.
That's right.
But if you was like living in a perfect spot, you wouldn't have to have the reflector, and you could just get the signal from every direction.
Mm-hmm.
But the reflector makes it focus the signal stronger.
Now, let me make sure I understand before we go. You're talking about getting this installed, everything that we're looking at on top of this house here, less than $200, and from now on, we're watching free television.
That's right.
My
That's right.
goodness.
It's made out of copper. It's all soldered together. The materials is stuff that'll last, I reckon forever,
Mm-hmm.
And I buy high quality coax. I buy 1,000 foot at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And just using kind of high quality stuff, like it's the best I can get for this.
I wouldn't expect anything less out of you, brother.
Yeah.
You know, Danny, one thing, when we first talked that day, I came home and lo and behold, I pulled you right up on YouTube. Now, tell me how we can find you on YouTube.
Well, it's Danny S Hodges, and that's on the YouTube channel. I got about 3 or 4 videos on there. But I kind of started putting that video on Facebook, and then a few people like said, well, I just want you to build me one, and so I did, and sort of how.
And I was one of them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, James bought the first one.
Yeah. Okay, I got the number on the screen, but it's 595-2845, right?
That's right.
595-2845. The number's been on the screen pretty well the whole time we've been talking. But I want to tell y'all, if you just join us right now, I'm talking with Danny Hodges, a dear friend of mine, and he has built this digital antenna. And I want to tell you, I'm not just here talking to you today trying to sell you something, by no means. We're just having a conversation. I went down to Danny's house and found that you had something great that could not only help people in our community, but to be quite honest, help TV 35. We getting more viewers just by, and I appreciate that. You know, you've added viewers to our TV station, and we love that. I mean, we love our local programming, and you watch us, and we love to show the best of our community. I mean, that's what we do. If things are bad or something negative, we stay away from all that. And I know there's places you can read that, but we want to talk about what's good in our community, and we both know we live in a great community, Dan.
That's right.
And I want y'all to know, please pick up the phone and call. I mean, the number's right there on the screen. I'm telling you personally, I've got one at my home. It works perfect. I cannot believe the clear signal. And if you missed what Danny said a while ago, we had a bad storm this past weekend. My satellite, I've had DirecTV for years, which they're about to lose my business. That's one reason I wanted this antenna up. But my satellite, as y'all know, all of you people got satellite, it's going to go out in bad weather. You can't help it because it's a satellite up there, and when the clouds start moving in bad weather, you're going to lose the signal. Well, I got to thinking, I said, well, I got an antenna. Switch right over, never missed a beat. It was amazing. You know, it was froze up, and I think you got a dish or direct or whatever, but you know it freezes up on you, and that's all you see is that last frame there. But I flipped it over my antenna, and we were having bad weather, and I got to continue watching the tornado alerts and the severe alerts, which are important, and that's what most of us want to see, but I recommend it highly. Let me tell you, I wish you would pick up the phone. Call Danny. It's money back guarantee. How in the world are you going to lose?
That's right. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way to lose. Less than $200, and you're watching free TV for the rest of your life. Danny, I appreciate you joining me today, brother. Right. I appreciate it. Too, yeah, I really, I know you're busy and got things going on, but I appreciate you taking the time out of your day and talking to me.
Here you go, the ultimate TV antenna, 5 foot high, 60 miles from Macon, Georgia. I'm getting every channel. See the cord running from the TV up to the antenna, and here's the electrical cord right here. All right, everybody, thanks for watching.